Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news is happening along I-75, where the northbound lanes have been closed for hours after a crash involving a diesel tanker. The good news is nobody was hurt seriously in that crash.
But cleanup is now going late into the night. Our Tim Pamplin is on the scene with the night cam.
Well, first off, guys, the stench of diesel fuel is palpable. You can taste it on your taste buds out here. 75 northbound at 696, shut down after that tanker there, that diesel tanker got caught up in a crash involving 3 other vehicles. One of those vehicles spreading bricks along the freeway, the tanker spreading diesel across the freeway. No serious injuries to report out here, but the Michigan State Police have shut the freeway down at 8 Mile. It's closed between 8 Mile and 696 on the northbound lanes as MSP complete their investigation. And now as you come back out to us, the hazmat team have arrived on the scene. The incident response team, a private company here, has been charged with cleaning up all this diesel that's now spilled across 75. Freeway expected to open in the next couple of hours. That's the scene along 75 in Hazel Park tonight. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, temperatures remain above freezing as we take a live look at the Detroit skyline. Looks a little better. Look at that, Kim. We can actually kind of see.
Yeah, it is a little better. Kim Adams tracking some overnight showers, but it's that fog that's really the main concern, Kim.
It really is, and we're so excited we can see buildings because at 10 o'clock tonight you could see absolutely nothing. It is patchy, dense fog, also a very low cloud deck as well. We've got mostly cloudy skies here in Metro Detroit, a little rain north of Lapeer, north of I-69, and then also back out just north and west of Lansing. But we are right now dry in Metro Detroit. Visibility is an issue already with just under a mile visibility in Pontiac, 1 mile visibility in downtown Detroit, but only 3/10 of a mile of visibility out in Ann Arbor. So less than a half a mile in some spots and even down to a quarter of a mile overnight and into the morning hours. So that could affect your morning commute. 41 in Mount Clemens, 41 in Pontiac, 43 at Metro, 44 City Airport. Where's the heat? Well, it's all down to the south of us today. There was a warm front, but it just didn't make it across the border. So if you just went from Toledo south about 45 minutes into Bowling Green and over into Lima, temperatures would have been in the 60s. So that's how close 60-degree weather was to us today, but we just couldn't quite get there. But tomorrow we will get back into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees, 51 at Metro Airport at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I'll have a look at your weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Got a real bizarre story to share right now. It's a death investigation. It's underway tonight in Warren after a man burns to death.
Firefighters were called to the area of Topher Road near Van Dyke, finding the man on fire. He died on the scene. Pamela Osborne is there with the latest. Pam.
There's still more questions than answers at this point, but what we do know and we can tell you is that police were called to this home here for a man or a house on fire. That's what the gentleman who lives there tells us, but he came outside only to realize it was not his house, it was his friend on fire.
I didn't know that there was a fire in my backyard.
Bobby Toskowski had no idea what was going on when he was alerted to that fire. He jumped to his feet, got his wife, son, and dog, never expecting to see what he saw Tuesday afternoon.
When I first come to the door and looked, I seen the one officer chasing someone down the street with a fire extinguisher.
Neighbors looked on in shock. That fire the officer was attempting to put out, it wasn't an object, it was a person, someone Bobby knew well. The man was burned beyond recognition, but Bobby could tell it was his friend of 30 years by his shoes.
I want answers because, you know what, that was my best friend. You know, why? You know? He was here talking to me yesterday.
Police have not said what they believe happened. All Bobby knows is his friend will be missed.
And all the kids in this neighborhood really love that guy. And we're all going to miss him.
And police are investigating. They have not said what they think happened or what this situation could be. That 56-year-old man pronounced dead here at the scene. Reporting live in Warren, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
While recreational marijuana was approved by Michigan voters in 2018, for many communities it has been a long slog to figure out if they want it and how to run it if they do. In Oakland County, Pontiac is getting ready for a final vote after several delays throughout the year. Mara McDonald is at Pontiac City Hall tonight. So Mara, when do you expect that to happen?
My expectation, Karen, is that we're going to get a final vote on this probably at the January 10th meeting. And you know, it's interesting to point out that when it came to medical marijuana, it was Pontiac voters who made the call. When it comes to recreational, City Council is doing the heavy lift. Let me show you. Pontiac voters were asked if they wanted to approve medical marijuana back in 2018. It passed by precisely one vote. It took until last year to get an ordinance approved to move it forward. Now, Pontiac City Council will make the call on what recreational pot will look like in the city.
And I just believe in this administration, and I believe in this council, that we're working hand in hand to make sure we're doing the best thing in the best interest of our citizens, as well as our prospective business owners that are coming to the city of Pontiac.
As proposed right now, Pontiac would approve 20 retailers. There would be no limits on grows, processors, and transport companies. It also provides for 4 social equity retailers and 3 Class A micro businesses.
The City Council will proceed in closed session pursuant to Section 8H of the Open Meetings Act.
The council met in closed session with its attorneys tonight for a legal opinion on whether its ordinance as written is in good shape.
Well, I think every community that has implemented a marijuana ordinance has faced some number of legal challenges. Our focus is on minimizing those and mitigating the litigation risk to the community, and I think we're on track to do that.
Back here live, the City Council has now come out of closed session, and it is now going through multiple amendments to its current ordinance. One of them already bumped up those Class A micro businesses I told you about from 3 to 5, but there's a whole lot of detail work that's being done here. Still, I would expect a final vote on this January 10th. We're in Pontiac tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Local 4.
Okay, Mara, thank you. Football fans gathering outside UC Medical Center in Cincinnati showing support for Damar Hamlin. Tonight's vigil started at 8:55. That's exactly 24 hours after Hamlin collapsed on the field, leading to the NFL suspending the game. While Hamlin remains in critical condition, his uncle speaking to CNN tonight saying he's showing signs of improvement.
He's sustained some damage to his lungs, and they're working to try to remedy that. And they got him on a ventilator to help with the breathing too, just to take some of the strain off his lungs so they can heal and recuperate. So, yeah, it's just a sad situation all the way around.
His uncle added that Hamlin had to be resuscitated twice last night, both on the field and then a second time at the hospital. The NFL today announced the suspended game will not be resumed this week, emphasizing Hamlin's health was its main focus.
Well, after 3 failed votes, Republicans will again be voting on a new speaker tomorrow after House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy did not get the votes needed. It is the first time in 100 years a speaker hasn't been elected on the first ballot.
I will always fight to put the American people first, not a few individuals that want something for themselves.
If you want to drain the swamp, you cannot put the biggest alligator in charge of the exercise.
On the third ballot, McCarthy received 202 votes. That is 16 votes shy of what he needs to become Speaker. The House will be back in session tomorrow at noon.
3 children and an adult are recovering tonight after a house fire on Detroit's east side near the Hamtramck border. The fire broke out just before 10 this morning on Syracuse Street, not far from Mound Road in Caniff. Fortunately, a man was driving by and heard screams for help, rushed into the home, saving the 3 children, ages 2, 3, and 9 years old.
You know how lucky they are. And when he coming this way, he see the lady, she called for help. And he stopped and he helped her from inside the bringing the kids. He got hurt in here too. I see him, you know, when he faced me time, I see the blood in his head, but you know, he's okay.
Cause of the fire remains under investigation. The first Mega Millions of the year comes with a very big jackpot.
Yeah, the jackpot sits at $785 million, one of the largest ever. It's time now to check those tickets tonight. Winning numbers are 25, 29, 33, 41, 44, and the mega ball is 18.